All right, so welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Mario. Why I chose the unconventional path and how it's made me stronger. Now, most people follow the blueprint, go to college, get the degree, find a stable home, buy a house, settle down. But from the jump, that shit never really felt right for me because I've been taking this unconventional path, like since the moment I dropped out of college twice when I was 19. I started my own business at 23, and now I'm 27. I'm not 27 now, but I'm thinking about taking myself back. When I was 27 is when I started my nomad journey and been living off a fucking backpack for almost 3 years now. So I've been really deciding to take an unconventional path for a long time. And here's the truth. I learned a lot along the way. But the biggest thing is that if you're willing to do what most won't, you're able to live a life that most can't. And choosing this path is uncomfortable, is uncertain, and most people will never understand it. And if you feel like, you were made for something bigger, bigger than just the norm, the normal path, then this episode is definitely for you. Okay. So we're diving into how training unconventionally in the gym really mirrors the way I've been living life and the key mindset shifts that allow you to go against the grain, against the norm, and why most men settle for comfort and how to break out of it. So let's get into it. Okay, so training unconventionally just made sense for me. I mean, over a year ago, I started doing all these functional movements, landmine, coiling, explosive work, rotational work, and all these different tools with the steel mace, with the sandbags, etc. And the more I trained this way, the more I realized that my whole life has been this way, this approach. The traditional way of lifting started to just feel stale, feel like the same shit. I wanted something that really translated in real life movement and things that, I can apply to my day-to-day work and just overall and how I'm living. So at 19, when I dropped out of high school for high school, college for the second time. I dropped out of college for the second time at 19, and everyone around me was falling to the script, which makes sense. Go to school, get a job, play it safe. And I tried to force myself into that life, but I knew deep down that, this shit wasn't for me. Instead, I made the first unconventional choice. I just fucking left. I said, you know what? I feel like that was the time where like social media was just barely taking off and like coaching and mentors and programs were just like becoming a thing. So like that's what I was doing. I was seeking courses and programs and the lesson really was that your body, your mind, your soul knows when you're meant for a different path and you just have to listen to it, that intuition, that thing, that that calling that always tells you, you need to be doing this or whatever the case may be. Like I feel like a lot of people do not listen to their own fucking voice, their own internal dialogue that's going on. They're choosing to believe what mom said, what dad said, what whoever they've been influenced by, right? The sacrifice really was what most people won't do. When I started a business at 23, it was fucking sink or swim. Like I did not know anything about starting a business. I mean, my mom was an entrepreneur, but she was like more like selling clothes and like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was more like it wasn't something that was in this era was the online space because that's what I started. It was an online business. So no safety net, no guaranteed paycheck, no fallback fucking plan. Most people say they want freedom but they aren't really willing to pay the fucking price. Now there's a middle ground and all this shit, right? You could definitely be able to you know, live the life that you want, but at the same time, like you see the people who are really free, they're like they have businesses, they have wealth, they know how to make their money work for them. And for me, I was didn't want to be told what to do. I couldn't even stick to a fucking job, y'all. Like I think the average was like 6 to 8 months. I stayed in jobs and I just jumped because I was like, fuck this, I don't want to do this, I want to do this. And it was until I stopped selling cars. I was in sales, I was always in sales and I sold cars and I was making a good amount of money when I was 19, about like 4 to 5K a month. But then I was like, fuck this, I need to go after my passion, which is fitness. And I started my first fitness career as a cardio kickboxing coach at 9 round, which made me take a big fucking hit in my income. But it was something that I was felt called to do and I wanted to do, and I knew this was like the first path to me like being an entrepreneur because I was planning to start a business right after that. And here's what most men won't do. They don't step in uncertainty when the 9 to 5 offers stability. Don't get me wrong, like everyone knows should know themselves. Like maybe you're not meant to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you're meant to be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is somebody who's a valuable asset to a company, and maybe they're just a worker bee. You got to know yourself. For me, I was definitely not one of those people. Just given the fact that my job history never really was long. Like I never stayed in a job for a very long time. And you know what I mean? Like sacrifice comfort to build something from the ground up. I mean, I just lived under my comfort zone, like out that motherfucker. And here's the thing, what most people, men in general, not just men, but just what most people won't do is keep going when they feel lost, when they feel broke, and they feel like failing. I remember one of my mentors told me, what you're feeling right now, Mario, where you don't know where your next paycheck is gonna come, where you feel uncertain, you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Walk into entrepreneurship, buddy. Example is now like after actually building a business and making that my income and not going back to the 9 to 5 life. At 27, I sold everything I owned with my girlfriend, and we decided to go live nomadically. I lived at one bedpack. She lived off one suitcase, no fixed address, no home base, no normal fucking job, just me, my vision, and the mission I was building. And the vision too was with my girlfriend to build our own businesses together because that's the type of relationship I wanted. And it's not fucking easy. It's work, even in that relationship in itself. The lesson, if you're willing to do what most won't, you'll earn the freedom that most will only dream about, man. And that is something that made me think about why, like, damn, I love training unconventionally. And it was fucking hard because I was traveling and I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do with all these sandbags? These aren't my homes that I'm staying in. I'm taking care of homes, taking care of, you know, pets, and I'm like hauling these fucking big ass bags in the car back and forth, moving around. And it was actually a fucking nuisance. But like at the same time, like, I want to talk about how to break out of the fucking normie trap or like whatever the fuck and just go all in on what you feel is good. And you feel like you're like stuck in a box and you're meant to do more, then here's what you need to do. Stop waiting for permission. No one's gonna tell you, yeah, bro, be different. You just gotta fucking decide. You gotta decide what's best for you. Not what mom said, not what dad said, not what all, like literally it's your fucking path. And even when I chose to do all this path, like my mom didn't believe in me when I started a business. They're like, "Oh, Miko, you should get a normal job," when I wasn't really making money in the first couple of years. But then when I bought my own apartment and I did it, and then she saw me, like, "Oh, you finally did it, Miko," and I'm like, come on, mama. My mom did pour belief in me in different ways, though. So I really appreciate her for showing me what's capable and what's possible. But at the same time, like I almost like felt like I needed permission from her or any other people. And what I'm saying, like, nah, you got to give yourself your own permission, and you also got to lean into discomfort. Growth lives when you're uncomfortable. Everything you want is when you're outside that fucking comfort zone. Yes, it feels scary. Yes, you're scared. Yes, you don't know what the fuck's going on. Yes, you're gonna fail, but that means you're on the right fucking path. That means you're on to something fucking big, for real, for real. And you just start to build your own version of success. Because, like a lot of people have different definitions of success. It means the car, it means the house, it means the family, it means whatever the fuck it means to you. But you get to choose what that means to you. And most people see me traveling, training differently and say, bro, that's crazy. I can never do that. And they're right. They will never. They never will. Because they won't make the choice to, or they're not that type of individual. And my biggest lesson was that you can live like the normal American, you know what I'm saying, 9 to 5, go get married, get settled down, and never feel fulfilled or never feel fucking free. And that's normal, like in America, you know what I'm saying? Or you can really fucking feel free, live the way you want, you know? But there's give and take. There's a trade-off in that. You can't expect to do both if you're trying to live this, you know what I'm saying? Is there a middle ground? Is there a way that you can do it? Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's always from taking a different path than the normal fucking path that people will tell you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, here's the takeaway. If you're feeling called to something different, trust that shit. Trust that shit. Be willing to do what most men won't so you can live a life that they never fucking will. And stop trying to fit into a life that was never built for you. You know what I mean? That shit was like is big for me. You know, I'm documenting my whole entire journey from training to business to nomadic living on YouTube and other socials. Like if you go to my IG on Real Talk with Mario, there is a section of my nomad journey from me living from Costa Rica before I moved to San Diego and all the places I visited with my girlfriend. You know, it's on there. It says nomad living or nomad life. And, you know, I also have just my client success on there and, you know, my journey of like my story of like my drug addiction as a young age because I came from an addict family, a family of addicts, and you know I didn't know that was hereditary and it was passed, but fuck, I found out the hard way, and you know I shared that story and that journey, and also like what it took for me to build this business. Like there was one point in my life when I just started this fucking business, I was asleep, homeless, sleeping in my fucking car, bro, and like I want to keep it real as possible in this journey because you know, I called my shit Real Talk with Mario when I rebrand my shit to that for a fucking reason. For a fucking reason. Because as it gets more fucking weird in this world with AI and it's so easy to fake shit, like I think about Mario, you're gonna future proof yourself is one if you keep documenting your fucking journey and one you keep it fucking real, you tell real fucking stories. Not over here just faking shit. Like if you go to my YouTube, you see success stories of people who actually done my fucking program, who actually are real people, and you can reach out to them and talk to them. You know what I mean? Not this fake screenshot and, you know, whatever. It's just like more and more this world's gonna becoming fake as fuck, bro. And I just want to be real with it. Even if it takes me a long fucking time to actually blow up in my platforms and all this fucking shit, like I'm just trying to keep it real as possible. And, you know, that's why I call it Real Talk with Mario. So watch my latest content on YouTube and follow me on IG. That's on every platform, TikTok, YouTube, Real Talk with Mario. Okay. Until next time, staying conventional. You know what I'm saying? Stay hungry, keep building. If you want to see difference, then be fucking different. Take a different path if you're stuck, if you're feeling the same. And if this one hit deep and it ties into your journey, your mindset, and fitness all into one, you know, please let me know the tweaks that you make. Like reach out to me in my platforms or, you know, screenshot this episode if you enjoyed it, put on your stories. I would love to see if this really made an impact for you. All right, much love. Stay real, stay different. Real Talk with Mario. Peace.